about the first time that I had sex. Linkinwitrobby. So dude hit me in my DM, right? And I'm just like, all you niggas freak out, and that's just all it is. First off, girl, fuck him. And you are now listening to Linkinwitrobby. Bring them out, bring them out. What's up? Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Robbie Curtis, and I'm back. And I'm here again. How's everybody doing? I know how I'm doing. Pretty good. Actually pretty swell. This past weekend was good. I got a lot of rest on Saturday. Leading up to Saturday night. I rested on Friday night and I rested on Sunday. You notice how I skipped Saturday night? Y'all, listen. I had sex. Yeah, I did it, you guys. I did it. I went to a sex party. Yep, went to a sex party on Saturday night. And I think it was the first time in years where I've gone to a sex party and was immediately overstimulated. I went with 3 other people. We went together. We pregame at the hotel room. Then we went to the party. And then when we got to the party, I kid you not, it was niggas galore. I was overwhelmed. I was overstimulated. Like, it was too many niggas. And I got my freak on. But by like hour 3 of being there, I was like, ooh, okay, I'm ready to go smoke and sit down somewhere. This is a lot to maneuver through. This is a lot of people. These are a lot of bodies. These are a lot of niggas. These are too many options. I was overstimulated. I found myself somewhere in a corner sitting down just masturbating, watching everybody because I was like, this is a lot to take in. So I'm just going to jack off and watch, get a little head here, do a little bit there. But overall, I was enjoying myself. It was a great time. I got to let my hair down and spread my wings, per se. Boy, was those wings spread. I'm talking about drop down to get your eagle on spread. Baby, I had a good time. I really did. Like, honestly, though, I needed that moment. I really needed to take my mind off of a lot of stuff and just get away. Just to be a freak. Like, and I just wasn't expecting so many people to be there. And everybody had on ski masks. It was a lot of fine niggas. I don't think I've seen that many fine niggas in one spot, in one location, in so long. But I loved it. I lived for every second of it. And baby, I enjoyed it. When I tell you that. Thought I would have made some more, connections with some people, probably networked. I did kind of network. I did exchange my Twitters with, a few people that I did meet at, the hotel before we went to the party. The boys that was there with us. I did exchange my number with them and exchange my Twitter and information with them or whatever like that. Network purposes, of course, I may want to network with them physically or socially or both. We did talk about, linking up all of us again, and going to Jacksonville and probably doing some stuff or hanging out or whatever. Because it was a good vibe with us. And we went to the party and we had a good time. We all was in our own little quarters. We all was on our own little vibe. We was all linked with who we wanted to link with. Hell, a few of us linked together during that whole moment. We had a great time, honestly, truly. But, yeah, like I said, I needed to take my mind off some stuff because past week been a little shaky. And it helped take my mind off of any other bullshit I could have had else going on. Saturday, that same day, prior to the party, of course, I had to go take my family pet to the Humane Society to be euthanized. He had a tumor. He's around 13 years old. He was blind. He had a heart murmur. And due to the tumor really getting worse and worse, and us not wanting to risk even doing a surgery because he wouldn't be able to withstand being put under, we decided to just, take him there and put him to sleep. It was a tough thing. Mom was really emotional about it. I internalized my emotions, so I was all right. I know how to compartmentalize. He's an old dog. It was bound to happen. Like I was telling Mama, like with so many old senior citizens around me, literally, death is becoming something I've thought about every single day. So I'm more accepting of it. I don't want to say I'm decentralized, but I'm definitely more accepting of death. I realize it could come at any point and it can happen to anybody. So it helps me handle when it does happen. So I think that's where I am in that point. It's crazy how I went from talking about a sex party to talking about my dead dog. Hey, anyways, on to another note. But needless to say, my mental is good. I'm feeling okay at work. I'm feeling comfortable with my new position. I'm finally getting settled in there. I'm finally getting back out and socializing with people, reconnecting with some, disconnecting with others. A lot of moving parts. But overall, things are pretty okay. I'm content the way things are, and I wouldn't ask for anything else. Truth be told. Honestly, I wouldn't. It could be worse, but it's not. So I'm not complaining about it. And now I think it's time for my new segment, Gay Talk. And this is where I go on the Ask Gay Bros Reddit and I pick one or two questions where they're asking for advice. These are usually other gay men with all different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different ages, and they're asking random questions that they want advice with. And why not be the one to give the advice? So, here we go. First question. I have little to no sensitivity on my dick, especially during sex. How can I increase it? Interesting title. He goes on to say, I'm 21 and I'm noticing some concerning things about my dick. I'm well above average and have no desire to bottom, which is why my boyfriend and I work well together because he's 100% a bottom. The problem is, I have almost no sensitivity in my dick anymore. Oh my. Okay. Interesting. It feels like it's getting worse. I can still get very hard and jerk off, but having sex doesn't feel like anything at this point. Oh wow. Like I just can't feel it. I can stay hard with no problem for the entire time, but I can't come. I've tried to go long and extended periods of time without jerking off or coming at all, but it doesn't seem to affect me that much. Is there anything I can do or anything that you've done to increase sensitivity down there? I really, really want to be able to actually come while topping instead of just lasting forever until I get bored. Any tips? Okay. All right, Mr. No Sensitivity. Um, I would say you probably jack off a lot. I think you jack off too much. There's a thing that happens with men. If you masturbate for a lot or for over masturbate, like you're always masturbating, it will come to a point where you're only able to come or ejaculate while masturbating. To the point where anything else you don't feel any sensitivity. What I would suggest, lay off from jerking off for a while. Lay off for coming for a while. Edge for a moment. Just allow yourself to build up. And only allow yourself to have any type of interaction or physical touch with your dick and your head when you're actually having sex. Try to restrain yourself in that matter to where when it does touch something, it's sensitive. You can also use like a fleshlight or certain type of toys that will replicate the feel of an anus or lips, whatever your preference is, or even vagina. You can get one of those fleshlights and use that as a tool to practice where your sensitivity levels are. But I do think your main source of friction, no pun intended, I do believe your main source of conflict here is the masturbation. It comes to times sometimes that even I have to put myself on pause so I can enjoy it when I actually do it for real. Because sometimes we get to the point where we get so used to how we please ourselves that it's hard for somebody else to please us. So it's always good to sometimes just edge, chill, allow yourself not to come. Embrace that, lean into that. And then when you finally have a physical interaction with someone else, you're finally having penetration or you're topping someone and you're sliding in, that sensitivity, oh, you're going to know they're sensitive. You're going to know you're sensitive. You're going to feel it because it's going to be like you haven't touched anything in years. And it's going to be one of your best nuts. So I advise that. Question number 2. Started a new job about 9 months ago. And when I first started working, here everyone was nice. But one guy would wink at me every time he would see me by myself. Not wink at me. I don't think I've ever done that, but okay. I know our community basically lives off of discreet gestures and not being too oblivious. Sorry, not being too obvious. He stopped probably 2 months ago. He stopped winking at you 2 months ago? Is that all y'all been doing? Okay. I am actually interested in him. He has an ass I would pay to munch on. Oh my. But was the first few months of winks his way of seeing him I was interested? Wait, why are y'all winking for months? Like, what's going on here? Like, why did nobody say hey? Like, what is going on? Of course, no definite way to tell other than asking him, LOL. Yeah, like, that's where we're all at. We're all on the same page here, Eric. Thank you. His name isn't Eric, but I just call him Eric. But just wanted to see what people thought. And is it weird if I start winking one day, maybe throw the gesture back and see where it goes? Sir, please don't start winking at him. Let me just help you here. Yeah. Okay. The problem here is y'all both are being childish. Why have y'all been winking for 2 months? Why has no one tried to get further than that? Have you at least tried to find him on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, anything? Did you pull out your app to see if he was on Grindr or Jacked? You just sat there winking at him and he was just winking back. He probably just got tired of winking. I mean, who can wink? It's been 2 months. I don't think he's gonna wink more than 2 months. Who has that type of interaction? I do think you should just ask him. I know it sounds like the obvious answer, but that's the most obvious option. Say hey. Say what's up. Go from there. Literally go from there. Speak and go from there. Say hello, introduce yourself, have some casual conversation about work, anything current event going on at the time, something that just be natural and speak to the person instead of this mind interaction you guys got going on. What is this nonverbal interaction? Y'all just winking for months. And you wondering why he just stopped. It was 2 months. Who keeps winking after 2 months? I'm surprised he kept winking after a week. Because after a week, gays will get bored and find something else to go wink at. Something that's probably going to go into doggy style and make something else wink, if you catch on to what I'm saying. So, pick up the pace, baby. Speak to him. And go from there. He was clearly not intimidated or unfriendly to you. I mean, he was winking at you. So clearly that opens the door to speak. A wink opens the door to speak. I really do believe. Once you guys have crossed that threshold of winking, because I don't do that. I mean, I just skip right to speaking if I want to speak. Well, once y'all wink to each other, I mean, what is there left to be afraid of? I mean, y'all have already done the weird thing of winking. I mean, at this point, you might as well just go back on Facebook and poke the guy for 2 weeks. Like, which is something I used to fucking hate. Why do people ever used to do that? I used to hate how people would do that. They would poke each other and they would do a poke war for like months on end. And they'd be like, okay, I'm not going to keep poking you. Are you ever going to mention or message me or do anything else? You just going to keep poking me and we're just going to keep going back and forth? Is this us fucking? What is this? What's happening here? But anyways, yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry. Bypass the winking and speak to the guy. Okay? He doesn't bite unless he does. You said you a munch, so maybe you should wink or make him wink on your twinky twink. Okay? That's what I say, dude. Okay, you guys. The moment we've all been waiting for. I'm gonna talk about how I lost my virginity. Yep. Everybody sit tight. Let me take a sip. Yeah, I'm gonna discuss how I lost my virginity. So, let's see. At the time I was in high school, I had to be. Let me do the math right. Let me do the math right because I was in 27, 28, roughly 15, going on 16 in that age area. I was on MySpace. Um, at the time, I was interacting with guys, but I was not meeting up with guys or anything like that. Um, by that point, you all know I had already gave a guy head in ninth grade, so I had already did that. So by this point, I'm a sophomore. I'm going to this new school I've never been to. I'm the only out gay black guy. Literally the only out gay kid. Everybody else is like in the closet. So I don't have a lot of options. And at this time, I'm going to an all white school. So there really ain't that many black people out there, anyways. But there was this one guy. Oh, there was one guy. Let's call him. Hmm. He was a senior. I'll just call him senioritis for right now because I can't think of nothing else right now. Anyways, you know what? No, Dickies. I'm gonna name him Dickies because he used to always have this Dickie suit he used to wear all the time. Like you know when people used to wear Dickies, like he used to have the full Dickie suit, head to toe. He used to wear that all the time. It was like a beige one. Anyways, and they had on the back. It had Wildcats because that was our mascot. I don't know what we had going on back then. But anyways, I had met him previously before going to the school. He knew I was gonna be going to that school, moving out there. We had been talking on. Were we talking on MySpace or was it BGC back then at that time? It might have been BGC, but it was definitely MySpace back then as well. We had been talking for over the summer. He knew I was gonna be transferring over to that school because I was coming from another school. I was gonna be busing over from school to school, so I was gonna be going to. Basically, I was on a minority transfer, so I was going to be going to an majority white school, um, just to see if I had a better chance as a minority in this school. Weird setup they had going on, but it's Florida. Who's asking questions? Um, so I'm going to this new school. I don't know nobody. I have no friends or whatever the case may be. And I met some girls on the bus. We started becoming cool. I always found girls I can always hang with. Always was able to make friends with girls. It was nothing for me. It was some girls I became friends with at school. They found out I was gay. I didn't keep it a secret. I didn't have to come out at this school. I just was already gay when I got there. It was just like this is what it is. Um, and I realized they had a god brother who was the guy I had been talking to over the summer. So for the first few months, of course, we eventually got each other's number. We're texting every night. We're talking every day, or whatever the case may be. At this time, there's another guy, church boy. Called him church boy because he was going to my church at the time. Now, here's something you guys don't realize or don't even know. I was a huge church boy back in the day. When I was in grade school, I was in every church activity, every church organization, club, performance, youth team, ministry, whatever crap you could think of, I was a part of it. And there was another boy there who was also clearly gay. Um, and he was definitely interested in me. Mind you, this is the same time I'm talking to senioritis, well, Dickies. Why I keep calling him? Beige Dickies. I was talking to him at the same time, right? So me and him, I'm messaging this guy and I'm messaging the other guy. And I'm having this conversation with my best friend. I'm just thinking about, I think I want to lose my virginity. I think I want to lose it to one of them because, mind you, Both of them don't even realize it. They're both fighting to take my virginity. They're so excited. They're literally the same age. So whereas Dickies was a senior, Church Boy was also a senior. And here I am, a sophomore. Church Boy doesn't go to my school. He goes to my church, and Dickies go to my school. So we're messaging, both of us. I'm talking to senioritis one day, and he asked me to go to the bathroom to meet him. Okay, I'm nervous, but I go do it. I give him head. He's teaching me how to give head. Okay, all right. Needless to say, that went on for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I never made no moves with Church Boy. I was always at church. And if I was nervous to do something at school, I was definitely nervous about doing something at church. Kid you not. Eyes were always on me by everyone because I was involved in so much. So I wouldn't be able to get away with anything at church. So yeah, that never happened. So my options were Church Boy or Dickies. I chose Dickies. Dickies. Oh my God. So he asked me to be in the bathroom. And we're in the bathroom. We're kissing. I'm giving him head. He asked me to turn around. And he slid his dick in me. And mind you, how can I put it? It hurt like hell. And I was numb to it. Because I was like, how do you put it? Like, I was so stunned. One, I didn't know he was going to do it. Two, I wasn't prepared. I had never really done it before. I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't against it because we were doing everything else. We were doing everything. And it wasn't like he forced me. Wasn't forced. I just didn't know I was going to do it. So after he was doing it a few times, he was only stroking me a few times. I think he was just doing it to take my virginity. And after he was doing it a few times, we stopped and I left or whatever. I was so distraught for the whole day. Bitch, I had to sit down and go to school for the rest of the day. Do you hear that? I had to sit down. My ass was sore the entire fucking day. I was in pain. I had never been fucked before, so even if it was just for a few minutes or whatever, he didn't get his nut or whatever, he was just doing it just to say he did it. I was in pain. And that was not how I envisioned my first time to go. I thought it would be something more, I don't know, passionate, exciting, worth telling a story about. But I was excited as a 16-year-old. I was all ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God, I lost it. I lost my V card. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm testing my best friend. I'm freaking out. I'm all excited or whatever. But also in pain, and I'm trying to play it off like I ain't just get fucked. Needless to say, the funny part about the story is it was a football game after that night, right? After school. So I went to the football game. I believe it was Evans versus Olympia. Something like that. It was Evans versus somebody. Could have been Wakava, probably. I think it was Wakava High School versus Evans High School. And I was going out there with my best friend. It was me and my best friend. And her friend. And we was all out there. He was a guy. And the whole time we were just making jokes about stuff. And I was trying to play it off because I was in pain. Because of the first time. And my best friend knew, so it was an inside joke between us because she was watching me stand up there trying to pretend like I'm not in pain, stand up here, and I'm in pain. Like literally in pain because I just got fucked and I wasn't prepared and I'm young. And what am I out here doing? But yeah, that was it. And after that, we tried another time, and that time was even worse because, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I painted him. But mind you, this like, I'm 16, I'm not prepped. I'm at high school, so I'm at school and not like I'm cleaned out or anything. And I'm not expecting to fuck that day. And he wanted to teach me how to ride him, and I tried to ride him, and yeah, it was a whole different kind of ride. It was a mud slinging ride. Riding through the swamp. No. But it was a messy situation, very much so. And that's when I started, learning how to clean myself out and what I should use and what I should buy and how I should go about it. And yeah, that was my first time. But I think the most important first time for me, because even though yeah, that allowed me to have sex, and a few more times after that, I kept trying until I felt more comfortable with it. Was maybe not even like a year later, almost a year later, I met Mikey, my first love. And this time was magical because we had both bottomed before, right? So neither one of us was virgins. It was his first time going to top me. And we were in love. We were so high school, lovey dovey in love. Everyone knew it. And the first time we were going to do it, my mom, I have to go out. I really have to go over my coming out story one day. I'm really going to have to go over all this because she may sound so progressive right now, but this is years after all the craziness we went through. But needless to say, my mom, my grandmother was going out of city. They used to go out of the city to get their hair done, so they would go maybe like an hour or two away or whatever, and get their hair done in another city close by. And so they were going to be going for like the whole day to go see the salon and get their hair done and whatever the case may be. So I knew they were going to be gone. At the time, my boyfriend Mikey was over, staying over, and oh my God, we were going to do it. We didn't end up doing it because we were so nervous that we just kind of just laid there and just kissed and made out or whatever like that. It didn't go nowhere. I thought it would have, but it didn't. Um, it was cute, but we were so nervous. Like we kept having moments where it was like so close, but didn't get there. And I think that's what makes me miss that moment or look at that moment as that was my first time because I had sex before. He had sex before. It wasn't like something brand spanking new, but our first times weren't magical. You know what I mean? It was something special about them because it happened. But I would like to look at this moment, and I'm pretty sure he would too, as this was the real pinnacle from when we really had our first time. So all those almost and maybes and we're so close, it built up the anticipation that really increased the sexual tension. Like we already can keep our hands off each other. We already have so much PDA. We're always looking into each other's eyes, giggling and googling. And I haven't had a love like that in a long time. Where okay, let me not lie, but whatever. It was always so special and romantic and intimate. And so when he finally went over the way to college, and he was in Tampa, and I would go visit him in Tampa. I finally visited, and we had our first time. It was magical. Oh my God. Um, it was very cute. I can't even think of everything. I still remember being super nervous. He was super nervous. And I remember he had a bad heart at the time back then. I'm pretty sure he's probably a lot better now with his heart. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had sex with him since those years. But we did it and it was magical. It was everything I thought my first time would be with somebody, but it ended up being with him. It was special because it wasn't nothing crazy. We weren't in there doing stunts and tricks and flips and flops. It was just intimate, passionate, and we knew it was a big deal. He was nervous. He had never did it before. He couldn't believe he did it. I was nervous, but I was leading the way for him because he was topping me, but I was like letting him know it was okay to do whatever he was gonna do. And he was letting me know I was safe for him, and I felt completely relaxed and safe. There was no if, ands, buts about it, and it made me look at sex so much different because that was the first time I had really. That was the first time I ever had sex with somebody I was in love with. Like the few times I had sex before then, but I think before him, he was like my third body. Yeah, I had only had sex with two guys before him. Those were just the guy I met at the school. That was just a hookup that I was just messing around with. And then there was another older guy that I ended up having sex with. But those were not magical moments. Those were not magical moments. Those were just horny little moments and me being curious and wanting to do things. But this was the first time where it wasn't so much of hormones, it wasn't so much of nerves or pressure or trying to be grown. We were in love and we looked at it very romantically. He was a huge hopeless romantic. I remember on the way to Tampa when we got there, whatever, because mind you, okay, let me fast forward. Let me rewind a little bit. His friends and him surprised me on my birthday by coming to Orlando to see me. I was sad because he was like, "Oh, I'm only gonna be able to stay for a little bit, but that's it. But I'm just coming to see you." I was okay. He was coming to see me. I was sad he was only staying for a little bit, but he came, got me, and then was like, "We're going back to Tampa," and I'm like, "Really?" And we went back to Tampa, and we stopped to Walgreens, and he bought condoms. It was so cute because I don't think he had ever done it before. It was his first time, and it was my first time, and he was just so excited. And we got back to the room. He played music, turned the lights off. I can't remember everything he did, but he made it very romantic. He probably did some other stuff, like probably got some candy, probably got us some hot wings because that was our favorite thing to eat. That's still his favorite thing to eat. We love buffalo wings. We got some wings and we enjoyed that together after, of course. And we did it, and we made love. We didn't fuck. We made love, and oh my gosh, it's why I think whenever I do have sex with somebody, I do have to have a good vibe with that person. I want to have a connection in some sort. It don't got to be a deep in love connection. It don't have to be a lot of history. I just have to vibe with you organically. So that way, when we do have sex, I can get lost in the moment. That's what my first time with my ex showed me. Like, for my first love with Mikey, like, I want to get lost in this moment with you. Your hands and my hands, our eyes looking into each other, our bodies together, our juices together. I want to get lost in that moment. I want to get lost in your aura. I want your atmosphere to consume me. That's what I love. I want our energies to really become one. That's what I see when I'm having sex with somebody, which is why I do sometimes cut it off because, yeah, I am exchanging energies with people. And everybody energy I do not need in my life. But there are moments when, like that, for instance, where that was a powerful moment between two people who loved each other and were in love. Everyone knew that. It was Mikey and Robbie, just in love. I wasn't going by Robbie back then. I think I was just going by Robert, um, or Rob. It might have been Rob mainly, but yeah, back then, that moment was beautiful to me. And every time we ever had sex, it was never just. We'll get into more other stuff later on, but that moment was just. It was beautiful, and I felt safe. And that's what I like. And that's what I think your first time should be. I think for anyone who is wondering, should I have sex? I want to lose the virginity. Do it because you want to do it. Lose your virginity because you want to do it and you feel you're ready. And lose it with the person who makes you feel comfortable, who makes you feel ready, and who makes you feel safe without manipulation tactics, without forcing you, without pressuring you. Let your body go, release yourself, but release yourself to someone who deserves it. It may be hard to notice when you're just young or when you're meeting someone for the first time, you may not know. But when it comes to that, yeah, make it special. Because I've told Mikey this before, but I wish my first time had been with him. I wish it was with him sometimes. Sometimes I wish I can say I I gave my heart to you and I also gave you my body. And I had not done that before. I hadn't given my heart to anyone before. And I think that was the first time I really gave my body to someone. And I just wish it was literally my first time. It would make things so much better, in my humble opinion. I truly believe, though, my first time with Mikey really allowed me to be able to realize that when I'm in a relationship with somebody, or if I'm starting to have feelings with somebody, or I'm romantically tied to someone, or anything of that nature, I take my time and have sex with them. People may think I'm very promiscuous, that I'm very sex positive, and I am. I am. I can be all those things. I can be a freak. I can be all those things. But if I'm actually trying to court somebody, or I'm actually trying to date someone, or if I'm getting to know somebody on that level and I'm looking for something deeper, I hold off on sex. Because one, I want that first time to be special, memorable, and two, I want that foundation there first. I used to go by the 3 month rule, and that was because, so I don't know if you ever heard girlfriends. Girlfriends talked about a 3 month rule. Needless to say that after Mikey, of course, I had a 3 month rule. And when I was dating my next boyfriend, he had to wait 3 months before we would have sex. I wouldn't even go spend the night at his house because I was afraid we were going to have sex. I just wanted to make sure that whatever we had was genuine, real, sincere, and not based on just lust and attraction because I know I'm an attractive guy and he was an attractive guy. So I don't want to just be doing it, just be doing it. But yeah, I want our first time to be magical, everything I ever wanted. And I wanted to confirm whatever I've been already feeling. I don't go by 3 months anymore. That was juvenile back then, but I do ask most of the guys that I've ever actually talked to or dated. They will tell you in the beginning they did not hit right away. They didn't. We spent time getting to know each other. We spent time hanging out. We spent time really enjoying each other's vibe before the sex. And that way, when the sex did come, it was like moving mountains. No Usher. Okay? It was peaks and valleys and floodgates open. Baby, it's a different type of world. That's why whenever I have sex with somebody that I actually have some type of feelings for, baby, I get emotional and I get wrapped up into it and I'm really there in a whole nother world. Like, literally. Because I'm connected to your soul and your spirit and my energy is entwined with yours. And so because of that, our first time together as in a relationship or exclusive, it's gonna be magical. It's gonna be magical. Because I'm gonna love you and you're gonna love me. Right? God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. I can't believe I'm talking about this. But yeah, and I think it makes me look at sex a little bit differently now. Like I view things in two different parts. I'm able to compartmentalize it, right? So I'm looking at it as if I'm just hooking up, just having fun, just on some free shit, I maneuver this way. If I'm pursuing something with somebody, I'm moving a different way. I'm not trying to have sex with you. I'm not trying to be too lustful or act too much on my hormones. I'm trying to understand who you are as an individual, and I hope that the vibe is so great, the energy I'm receiving from you is so great that I am going to want to give you my body. I'm going to dream about it. I'm going to think about it. Every guy I've been with, those 3 relationships I've been in, because I swear it feels like I've dated so many guys, but I've only been in 3 like official relationships. Every single one of those relationships, sex was never the issue. Now, and I can say this, although there may have been times where sex contributed to some of our issues, it wasn't the sex itself. It was the connection before the sex, because that's always what I cared for. I realize that I do sometimes use sex as a way to not fill a void, but connect with somebody. I really do use it as a means of connection, a means of touching someone else, you know? And I'm not talking about just in a literal sense, but just a way for someone to touch me, affect me, and for me to do the same to somebody else. That is what I use sex for. And so, because of that, I have to compartmentalize when I'm just freaking off or when I'm just doing anything. And I have to keep telling myself what this is. Because if I do enjoy it too much, if I do get soaked up into it too much, I will get lost in it. I will lose the plot. And I will forget why I'm even doing it. But yeah, my first time shaped a lot of me. The going to the bathroom, hooking up at school, shaped the freaky side of me doing something spontaneous. And then on the other side of the coin, me being in my first gay relationship, public relationship, serious relationship, long term relationship with a guy at a young age, I was able to explore my body, explore my sexuality, gain confidence in myself, my worth, and really get in tune with my own intimacy with someone else. I was able to see how it felt to connect with somebody on that level in those moments. And I cherish that feeling. I still do to this day. Whenever I meet a guy and our souls connect like that on a spiritual level when we're having sex, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm willing to let it be. I'm willing to let it happen. I'm willing to take it there to that next level with you. Oh my God. I can't believe I just sat up here and talked about my first time. It's been so long since I've talked about my first time. Lord knows I don't talk about it. Only because, like, who wants to brag about having sex in a high school bathroom? Like, no. It wasn't even just a regular high school bathroom. It was the cafeteria bathroom, because that was the bathroom nobody went to when there was no lunch. And so we knew to go during the periods when there was no lunch. It's chaos. Chaos down here, Tom. I must admit, it is pure, utter chaos down here. And I am a chaotic force of nature. What the fuck am I rambling on about? I don't know. I gotta stop drinking these Coronas. Regardless, yeah. Choose your first time right. You know, everything ain't gonna be perfect, but if the person is a person that makes you feel safe, you feel at home, when you lay in their arms, you feel protected, then you got the right person. And you shouldn't regret it. Own it and enjoy it. And if possible, learn from it. Even if that's just so much of learning what you like and what you don't like, or, yeah, learning your body. I guess I'm going to wrap that one up today. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Starting to reminisce. God damn it, Mikey. Why the fuck you gotta be engaged? I wanna fucking call you right now. This is some bullshit. Fucking bullshit. anyways, y'all. And on that note, I did enjoy myself talking to you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, come back next Wednesday. Every Wednesday after that. Tune in to what I gotta say. And yeah, just keep linking with Robbie.